is exciting season, the season of Hanukkah. I want to talk for a moment about Hanukkah in the context of Hanukkah. I sincerely hope all of you will run and get Hanukkah in the Light of Mashiach publication. I'm really excited about this. I want to connect it for a moment to the Parashat this week and what we read. We are in Parashat Vayishlach. There's a verse in the Parashat that to me is important. I want to connect it to Hanukkah, to Lecha Dodi, and then we will walk into the Ana Bekoach after that immediately. In the narrative this Shabbat, Yaakov leaving Be'er Sheva, and the interesting, the word Sheva, if you take the shin and you the dot on the other side, you get the word seva or sheva, shin or a sin. It's still the letter shin. Now the interesting thing about it, if you take the word seva or savea, you get the word full. Somebody who ate a lot and is full, is content. And it's interesting because Yaakov, our father, leaves the well of Seva, meaning the place of contention, and he's going to a place called Haran, which is written in the word Haran, hell. He's leaving a place of contention, and he's going to a place called hell, and it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to leave a place of contention or a place of fullness and to go to a place of wrath or hell? The interesting thing about all of this text that I want you to think about is in the context of Hanukkah, in the context of miracles and Yaakov Avinu, is there is always room for more with God. And this is a mistake people are doing a lot of time, and maybe you are even doing it, is you think that, hey, I have experienced God, there is nothing more, there is nothing new for me to experience. I have seen it all, I've heard it all, and so forth. But here in the text, we're seeing that God wants to stretch Yaakov to even more. And it's interesting because Chazal says that as he leaves the place of content and he's going to Haran to redeem more sparks, God supernaturally help him to walk. So one journey, one step that is taken forward is 10 steps in a physical. In the supernatural, it's a supernatural steps to fulfill God's vision and God calling upon his life. And it's important to understand because the same thing happened with Eliezer. If you remember, Eliezer had the same situation. One step he took counted as 10 steps. When you leave a place of comfort, beloved, and you're going to a place that God is calling you, even in difficult situation, you can bank and you can count on the fact that God is going to go before you in a supernatural way. When God is going to use the supernatural is not necessarily when you're in your comfort zone, but rather when you're operating under the spirit of obedience. And what does this obedience look like? I want to talk for a moment about obedience because people think that obedience is just nearly doing what God wants us to do. But there's a verse here in this Torah portion that really hit me very much. It says here, after the vision, remember, you see the vision, you see the dream, you see the letters, and then it says in verse 16, Vayeketz Yaakov Mishnato. He woke up from his sleep. Now, what do you hear with the word yeketz? What do you hear inside the word yeketz? You hear the word ketz. The word ketz in Hebrew means the end. He understands that the vision and the dream that he received related somehow to the end time, to Acharit Hayamim, for the last days. And to me, the greatness of Yaakov is not the fact that he just go out, okay? Anybody can take a step of obedience to go out, but that is not where the greatness comes. The greatness comes is right here. It says, Vayomer, he's saying, he's speaking to himself. He said, Vayomer achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh v'anochi lo yadati. He says, oh my goodness, God is in this place and I did not know. You see, there is two aspects for us of going out. One is just pure obedience. Na'aseh v'nishma. We are going out. God said so, and I do that. But that's not when we see the power of God. when he says, Ve'anochi lo yadati, what he's really saying here now, I have a cognizant understanding inside of me that God is really with me. And that's something that sometimes we are lacking. That's what the bride is lacking in the story of the Lecha Dodi. She doesn't understand that although she is separated from the groom never left her. The groom never leave. Everybody need to understand that although Mashiach is not revealed himself to the world today, he never forsake us. He's never forsake us. And here he says, Ve'anochi lo yadati. Then all those miracles start to happen to Yaakov in his life. You see, if we want to experience the supernatural, we have to learn to say, Ve'anochi lo yadati. I am now understanding that I am not walking to God, I'm walking with God. You see the difference? I'm not walking to the Chatan, but rather the Chatan is walking with me. When I take a step, the Chatan takes 2 steps. That's how the Kfitza Derech taking place. And this is something that all of us need to understand. When we come closer to the groom is making an extra effort to come closer to us, to the point that he is in natural proximity to us at all times. And this is the beauty of this story of Hanukkah. When is the miracle occur? The miracle occurred when they found the flask of oil. I don't think that that's when the miracle occurred, when they found the flask of oil. The miracle occurred is when they went to a battle with 1 against 10. The ratio was 1 against 10, and they won a battle 1 against 10. Was that the miracle? Yes, it was the miracle. Was the flask the miracle? Yes, the flask was the miracle. The idea here is, if I know that God is with me, if I know that this God is fighting with me, if we can say Ana Bekoach and believing that God is here, he's not over the heavens, he's not over the seas, he's right here next to me, then guess what? It's changing the way we live our life. I'm not praying to God who is somewhere in the heavens only. He's here on the earth, he's here next to us. And to me, the beauty of the month of Hanukkah, and that's why I want you to get this publication, by the way, because there's so much Divrei Musar, so much Haggadah, so much Halakha. The month of Kislev is a month where our faith should increase, so that we say, oh my gosh, V'anochi lo yadati, I didn't realize that God is here all this time.